Bitches come and go, bro. But you better know how to stay. Okay, so meditating is literally because, like, when sitting meditation is because you're literally sitting on one part of your butt too much. So I'm always on like the lower behind. So I just find a way to get comfortable without pulling my shoulders apart. Oh my bloody more amp. And then just kind of lean back. And girls, usually when they're traditionally given these, they hang them on their nose. And then kind of lift it so you get a good like blood flow in your brain. You kind of gotta assess that yourself. And yeah, it's through your nose, out your mouth. But at first, especially if you've been smoking or damaged your lungs or something, you're not going to get it right away. So just give yourself time. And the trick of meditating is when you get that blood flow, like dark spot from your eyes. Like, technically, you can't see through your eyelids unless you've been crying too much. But anyway, just look at the light without shifting your eyes. So just change your outer space spectrum. Like, just let your eyes relax and you'll see the light. It's usually in the front. Especially if you're a crier. If you got a migraine, it'll feel like there's dark speckles like all in around. If you have injuries, you're at high risk of choking to death when you try to get more blood to your brain and like meditating. Yeah, you'll choke and sometimes cough out blood. And, yeah. That's why Buddha, he was a big hefty dude and he starved himself next to the tree to understand why blood means he's selfish. Because they always said, blood means you're selfish. The samurais and stuff. And he just discovered that he was literally needing to stretch and do kung fu, and then they call it tai chi because he went slow about it to not be threatening. And he was like, and then you notice that you can bring the gods, and then you can hear your prayers more like a digital code. You get smarter, it heightens your intelligence, and then you get the full face value, and that's love. You may not be in love, but you love yourself at least. That's when you're a character. But if the light is too bright, you probably have acne because it's a lot of nerve pain. Don't look directly into it. Find something that's more like mundane and dull. The further you get into meditation, the the less you have to think about the light, the less you have to think about your breathing. You're just not a mouth breather anymore. And then you meditate when you walk. And that's when women learn how to talk. It's through meditation. Women don't talk. That was always my joke. I don't even talk. I can't talk. But when I can't talk, that's really bad. That means I couldn't even meditate. I was so dizzy. And I do get dizzy and I just stare off. I come back and I'm panting because I have diabetes. And they always say the blue, that it depends on how your eyelids are doing and how the surface of your eyes are doing. And maybe you can't see very well. You have a back of your eye injury or something. They say the blue is actually you. It's your soul, even when you're female. And that you need to like shift it so that it becomes through breathing. It becomes like not just an orb, but like a halo around you, like your figure. And that's really important to keep you safe from your mind like collapsing, because when your mind collapses, like mine just did a heart thing. It burst into a heart. And now it's pinky red. It's like a fire. It's like a crystal fire when crystals ignite, kind of thing. And that's dangerous. If you focus too much on the red and you get obsessed with it, you can damage the back of your eyes. Most women honestly got punched in the head by their boyfriends or whatever, but yeah, I didn't. It's just it's good. It's a healthy one for me. I'm not truly obsessive. That's always my joke. I barely remember the last time I hung out with Kale. I barely remember things that he told me that he wanted me to remember. And it's okay. It's just like my way of saying, you gotta come back to get the love, you know? Like, I'm not gonna love you via the internet and be like some kind of geek noble. And now it looks like Mars and the planet Earth because I understand what they look like. That's why they would show up. In the back of my mind is showing me that I fucking love outer space, and I do. I just have trauma about it. My grandpa was a professor of astroscience and all that kind of stuff here in Prince George. And he got sick one day, and it was like 5 days later, I found him like almost unconscious in his trailer. He did. I took him to the doctor. I drove. He made me drive. I like never driven before. I was so young, but I had my license. I graduated, but the famous Lisa Stork finished the class. She's an astronaut. Well, and now I gotta start again because I had to rub my eyes. But that's what it does. It cleans your eyes too. Like stuff literally comes, it gets stuck from in there and it comes out. And what I was saying is about the crystal ignite that you see. It's about your view on life and how life inflicted you is how you're gonna feel when you see the pinky ready flare. That's really just your gears in your brain is what they call them. So you have like in the center of your brain, there's this little red organ kind of thing, like a cell. And that's what it is. And it's telling you that you are healed. You just are not meditating. Keep trying. Because when you get through it and you start meditating, just when you're walking around, you're talking, and even when it's hectic, you're meditating. Um, it starts to go like a yellow, and then you'll see the sun, and if you'll see your interest most likely, but it'll be yellow. And mine's always the sun, and I can see the explosions on the sun. Like the planets talk to me about everything. I'm a Cancerian, very emotional, kind of sensitive, passionate, on the edge of like self-sacrificial if I'm not treated right. That's why I said to Aaron, "Are you even treated right?" He's like, "You didn't eat anything. You'd go freezer burn." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when you're actually in love, you'll start to see their face. And it's your photographic memory that's doing that. Everyone has it. It's just usually dirty. That's why I can't use it. Anyway, I used to see Owen, and then when he started to fade, it'd be like him looking at me. It'd be a motion picture film, and then he would kind of go like very solemn. Everywhere I go, I was fucking spoiled rotten because they felt so bad for me. Kind of like a Mark Anthos painting, like the Mona Lisa, but the male one, like that. I might get rid of my bed. I'm still thinking it, so I have more space. But the bugs, yes, big freaking tarantulas. There's baby tarantulas in here. I just denied it because like I like tarantulas now, but it just never came out of its hiding, and I thought it was gonna get fucking angry. It was hiding behind. I had that little bookshelf kind of thing there. And it was getting big and it was getting thick, and it was like it was a baby, and it was coming out of its mommy's eggshell. That's for true. I squished it. Like, uh, its legs and stuff went out like that far. I've gotten so relaxed with Buddhism. I've been practicing since my mom's Buddhist and my dad's Buddhist. But they also do other forms of religion to keep it going, to complete the circle. I got my first textbook and I had to follow it. I had to go do my Tai Chi out in the backyard when I was like 7. And at 17, I got my first statue that I was allowed to keep. We would go garage hailing. I'm going to buy everything as like a cent for this like antique figurine. Eventually, we made collections, me and my sister, with Kobe's help because he had the book. And we sold it a set of sets of antiques, but it was like voodoo, all like voodoo shit. We weren't allowed it, but anyway. So finally, I got that Buddha statue that sits in my mom's. I like figurines, porcelain, glass, clay. And I have a whole stack of knives that I want to clean up and like get sharpened by my dad. But I just fucking left it there to like balance this shit out. Like to keep me steady. Like you look over, you're just like, don't spend your money. They're gonna think you're crazy. You have no money and a bunch of knives. Trying to be gooder about it. Better than better. I took my meds because I was getting a faint headache. I need the melatonin or whatever is in my night pills. I totally am reliant, but duh. I'm fucking type 1 diabetes. I'm trying to help raise young people, but I don't even put it on for kids or under 19 because maybe your parents will hear something crude that I say that is just so wrong to tell people how to raise their children. But they always said sugar makes you fat. I was like, it doesn't even when you don't have type 1. It totally turns into a gelatin that like fixes your bladder. It does. It doesn't even make you fat. It's like eating water for people that don't have type 1. And like it's a good piece of advice that if a kid was being abused, they wouldn't be there unless it just happened. Like those big bodybuilder chicks that had big full-on poms. One had a baby, and she was still trying to lose weight. I was like, "Holy shit, eat enough soup." In high school, like, what does it matter other than raising the future? No, it's swelling. And it usually is a fucking tumor. Yeah, my camera broke. I didn't fluff. I got really buff. That's true, but buffer than it even shows. Kind of makes me look fluffy. We call that astral traveling. But you got to come back to yourself. Just meditate when it's comfortable. Like, not when you're like, when I'm sitting here, I'm so comfy. Don't meditate when you're sitting like this and you're so fucking comfy. Do it when you're sore. Get up. Only do stuff when you need to do it, but always push your self expectations and don't be selfish and greedy because nobody's going to let you be that way anyway. So why are you always putting up a fight, Duke of Hazard? Well, anyway, you got to keep trying to come back to your body until you see faces that you were walking down the street, going to the bus, doing at school, whatever. People that smiled at you, people that didn't look so happy that maybe that you're thinking is there potential that could make their days better without money. Because like money is a hard one. I have a cousin who I give money when I'm on road trips and shit, but cousin. Like sometimes I meditate straight up on my knees to get the upper lower back. Yeah, that's why I keep yoga mats. That's why I want to get rid of my bed and just live in a freaking Shahama hut. And it stinks too because I dump drinks on it over and over again. I just need my dad to take it to the proper dump. I just moved it in here. I'm so pathetic. I knew it was a bad idea, but I was like, I don't care if you think it's a bad idea. Let's just do it anyway. I was like, okay. Like, I don't even sprawl out anymore. I'm too fucking old to be like, I'm a teenager. Your wigs are fucking cute. It was a centipede. It's been living in here forever, I bet. They're so cute. Like, they're just like, Stretch out once in a while. I think if somebody's pet centipede, they gotta let go. Oh yeah, John actually said that when he moved me in here. So there was literally pet bugs everywhere in here. I'm not scared. I know what you're thinking, Amber. It's weird. I talk about you all the time like you're a figment of my goddamn imagination, like my friendly imaginary friend. He's cool. He's pretty fucking rich because he was tall his entire life and healthy about it. Had weird growing patterns because of an injury. Many injuries. Yeah, and if you teach yourself to shake your head and don't let people call crazy, they're just fucking stupid. Anyway, there's like it would be like a square of light. And you go like this and just shake it so it goes away. And that's you changing the fucking subject. Don't be so flat. And it happens eventually. It takes a long time. Every time you get surgery, you have to start all over again. I'm craving candy. I don't think I need it. And it's like all my all my cells were like, we're a-okay. But I have candy just in case I crash. Try not to. Because you can almost get a tumor that makes you type 2 and type 1 and then you die eventually, like pretty fast. Tumors are bad. They're very bad. And they are caused from your sickness and you're not treating it right. That's why we're on diets. But mine's not a diet. Like, how is that a fucking diet? I got what I could without walking too far. I didn't want to go into fast food because I didn't feel like eating warm. That's all. I'm woozy. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. No girl has ever been able to work on Logan's self-esteem because you go, no, you're CEO of the mill. How are you fucking CEO in the mill? No, he just works in the mill. He's an underachiever because he wanted perfect skin with barely any scars, and then he's so precautious he ended up. There was something that a variable that says it wasn't his fault. But that's the problem with being uber precautious. So you may as well take Uber rides and sit down for a bit. I have so many scars. I like barely have my skin tone. I just nicks, but I scar easy and I bruise easy too, like my mom. I did everything for my mom for like 5 years until her bruising went down and I put her on metformin. Did everything. Oh. Kale actually got in Logan's face about my bruising. That's what upset me a little bit. I'm sorry, I should have explained it. My type 1 was so bad. Like, I couldn't get anything to work. I'd eat candy and I wouldn't even get the slightest buzz or nothing. You're supposed to get a buzz when you have type 1. Tripping and falling, a dog bumped into me. I was too skinny and that leads to bruising too. Wheelchairs, pushing wheelchairs, bump into them because you're fucking stoned on cigarettes. Drunk at work. Thanks, Cal. Punching myself because my nerves are acting funny. Because I have carpal tunnel developing. I got my feet worked on a long time ago. I had carpal tunnel in my feet from working on the Navy SEAL vessel all the time because I was just freaking. Well, I could do it. I wasn't getting hurt, so I did it. I'm at the awkward height. They won't hire me right now. Same size as my boyfriend. I should be taller than him. No, he should be taller than me. He's not even 40. He's 34. I was hungry at work. Jiu-jitsu, man. We're gonna hang out today, but he has to go to work tomorrow. You didn't know. I was gonna shower today, but no, too late. I'm gonna get some water and go to sleep with the window open and this tiny little Afghan. I got brown fat.